Good morning, everyone. Rebecca Vigus, the writer whisperer, here from a sunny but windy South Central Kentucky. Hope your morning is going well. We are still in Indian summer um, at this point. Julia Cameron today from The Sound of Paper. We're going to do her section on ripening. Sounds intriguing. What's going to ripen? The sky is a dull, throbbing gray. It looks like rain, but it doesn't rain. Instead, the green buds on the trees push palpably outward into bloom. A time lapse photo of the park below my writing window would show a greener, leafier afternoon than morning. So we know it's springtime. We blossom just as the trees blossom, but we cooperate so much less. While the trees lean into the approaching seasons and submit themselves to the will of nature, we fight the richness being made of ourselves, and we fight it with busyness. Too many people, too many books, newspapers, and events crowd our consciousness for our own ripening to occur. We are distracted from the matter at hand, another soul being brought to maturity. And let's face it, we have distractions. The internet, our cell phones, we're inundated with distractions all day long. Some are good distractions and some are not. Life rushes past pell-mell. We book our days from morning to evening and then wonder why we lack succulence and flavor. We go months, even years, without talking to once cherished friends. We are too busy living a life and having a life worth living. We walk on the streets. How many strangers meet your eyes? We walk quickly, eyes averted, busy, each with our own thoughts. And if someone looks directly at us, it's intrusive. We feel the same way about staring at someone we pass. We act as if we have no right to inhabit this life we are fully and certainly inhabiting. The passing parade must pass. We cannot be caught sucking on it like a candy lozenge to get its sweetness and taste. How many of you, when you are walking down the street, avoid eye contact? And what a shame. Because, eye contact and a smile can make someone's day. I very rarely avoid eye contact. I want to see people in the world. I am alone today. My roommate has gone to Florida for 2 days, and the house is quiet except for the occasional restless stirring of one of the dogs. This morning at 6:30, hours before I planned to be up, the smallest dog, Charlotte, a West Highland Terrier, set up a frantic scratching at my bedroom door. She had decided the night was over, that it was time for company and cheer. Not for me, from me it wasn't. When I emerged an hour later, unable to ignore her pleas, I discovered she had made good use of her time by savaging the contents of my purse, paying particular attention to a small bottle of allergy pills, which she had opened and scattered in party colored amulets across the living room carpet. All right, I will walk you, I all but snapped, fastening leashes to Charlotte and her companion, Tiger Lily, a cocker spaniel. Out we charged into the gray and luminous morning. The air in the park just off the Hudson was heavy with moisture. Daffodils and jonquils glowed like candles. It was beautiful to be up and out, no matter that the neighbors were still abed and the little park was deserted. I read most of the morning. I am reading my friend Natalie Goldberg's books, cherishing her technical prose, as vivid as salami on rye. Natalie grew up on Long Island in a split level tract home where food was the focus of life, and food remains in her pages a focus for life and a token of how well or ill life is being led. Isn't it delicious? Natalie's books are succulent, filled with to bursting with colors and flavors. I am reading them to double check myself. Am I being authentic? My real self with what I think and what I have to say? Are you being authentic? Are you being your real self or the person you want people to think you are? Is it good to have some alone time? To drop down into my thoughts and into my life with no one expected home and nothing required of me for a while? I can think about what I choose and whom I choose. I can leaf through my Rolodex and phone those friends who are missing in action, some of them for years. Perhaps because I have lived a life in many places: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Taos. I have led a life. I have led a disconnected life. I must work to stay in touch with those who are near and dear to me from each locale. And inevitably, as I shift places, I shift friendships with only the mail and email to save me as I try to keep up with a stream of notes that say, still thinking of you, although you are there and I am here. My friend Natalie's books, in my friend Natalie's books, she makes frequent mention of death, how it draws everything to scale and makes everything living so much more beautiful and poignant. I am 54 years old. I do not know how many more years I am allotted or how long I will remain on this earth, which I love. I do know that I do better being here when I try to be here consistently, consciously, to see the same world with a stranger's eyes, to walk my neighborhood streets as a visitor might, with a sense of wonder. This afternoon, I took myself for a brief walk. I stopped at a sidewalk table laden with books. One book for $10 was irresistible to me. It was a book on the origin of words. I love words and handle them the way a baby does, a first string of beads, each one so bright and such a different color and shape. The little book promised the origin of 8,000 words, among them abyss, from the Greek, bottomless. How could I not want to know? This is what I wonder as I move through New York, crowded with its all but faceless crowds. How could I not want to know? I spend one third of the year in Taos, a tiny town of less than 5,000 people, and the rest of the year in New York, a metropolis. In Taos, I am a known face. In New York, I am a faceless face, one more amid many. In Taos, I cherish the known faces that I see in restaurants, at the post office, at the copy shop, each of us on our own rounds. In New York, I cherish my anonymity as I make the same rounds. But in New York, I am always wondering, who are you? And is the promise of the city with its many stories that keeps me coming back like an avid reader, dazzled by the library shelves? There's a lot in there. Who are you? And are you being authentic? Those are important things, especially to your audience and your followers. In your books, you're not only entertaining, you're not only trying to entertain with your fiction, whatever genre you write in, you're trying to build a relationship with your reader. Who are you? What does your reader know about you? Gosh darn it, there's a hair. Are you authentic? Or are you just pretending to be who you are? Because if you're just pretending, your reader's going to know. So, for ripening and your writing prompt, oh, hold on, guys. I forgot to plug the computer in this morning. Now we're good. Sorry. I had forgotten I didn't plug it in last night. So, your writing prompt for today is ripening. Try this. Go to your local five and dime or pharmacy, select 5 postcards that lend the place you live a little magic. Set aside half an hour and take time to write out 5 postcards to far flung friends and relatives. It's enough to just say, thinking of you. Everyone likes to be thought of. Postcards aren't very big. You can't get a whole bunch on them. So you need to be brief in what you say. But showcase where you live. There must be something that makes where you live special. What would a tourist see if they came? You need to think about things like this. And please stay in touch with your friends. I talked to a friend this morning before I came live, and I've not seen her since last February, this past February. I will see her again next February because I'm going to South Carolina. She's delightful. She's old enough to be my mother, but she's delightful. And I enjoy her company. Surprisingly enough, she enjoys mine. I have friends from where I lived in Michigan that I sometimes go to see. I also have a whole itinerary for where I'm going to be and who I'm going to see because there are so many. I have friends from college. I have colleagues that I worked with. I have parents who have become friends over the years. They were parents of my students and have become friends. I have high school and elementary school friends. Yeah, I still have them. And so I see them when I can. I have family in Michigan. I make sure I see those that I can see when I'm there. Family is important. I have friends who run a used bookstore, and they make time for me to come and do book signings at their bookstore, which is always wonderful. So please take time, send postcards, something reflective of where you live. And I'm sure there must be some from around where I live. And I might go looking for them. Happy writing. I will see you tomorrow at 10. Have a wonderful day.